Senators, thank you.
Mr. Speaker, we have to understand that I'm such an inspirational speaker that in the same way when a great singer sings, other people they just have an overwhelming urge to join in and hum or sing or pat their foot or somehow show their appreciation of and approval of the singing. So when I'm speaking, others are taken with a desire to join me. So that's why there is the buzz like locusts or chirping of crickets, Ricketts crickets to be precise, or cicadas. And it doesn't bother me because I think I have far more people who listen and are not in this chamber. And they are the people to whom I'm addressing my remarks. They are residents of Nebraska. I found out from mail I've received they are residents of other states. So those are the people I will talk to. Even the one that you all pray to most of these mornings did say, let he that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Well, if you don't have ears to hear, forget it. You don't have to listen. But there are people who want to. And for those people, I'm going to continue presenting my views. What is it that has distracted me this morning from focusing on the prairie dog issue? I was given what is called a tweet by Pete. Well, it doesn't say a tweet by Pete. I kind of added that a little bit of rhyming because that's what I do. There is this notation, World News Tonight. The mayor of Dallas urges the NRA to find another city to host its annual convention, taking a stand against gun violence in the wake of last week's Florida school shooting. Above that is the tweet from Pete. NRA, we want your convention in Nebraska. Nebraskans love our constitutional rights. And apparently they love that more than they love the lives of their children. The NRA is one of the most, in my mind, criminal, cutthroat, irresponsible, un-American organization that is allowed to operate, to provide the weapons that are knowingly provided that will be used
1 minute.
to kill children. Schools used to be places where children could go to learn. Now they have become, in some instances, virtual slaughterhouses. Then this idiot you all have for a president is talking about arming teachers with what? Hidden pistols. He is such a fool that he thinks a person with a pistol has a chance against somebody with an AR-15 or an AK-47 or an Uzi. That is totally insane. Teachers are not hired to be rent-a-cops, to be security guards, to kill people. That is not their job. He doesn't carry a pistol. He has people trained who carry pistols, so he doesn't have to kill anybody.
Time, Senator, but
Thank
you're
you, Mr.
next
President.
in the queue, so you're recognized.
However, he did say when he was campaigning, he could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and he wouldn't lose a vote among his base. That's because they're as foolish and stupid as he is. When you have a man totally lacking in every moral principle, you could not expect moral conduct from him. How can these so-called evangelicals support him when they believe the proper marriage is between a man and a woman? They're against divorce. They're against multiple marriages. Trump has had multiple marriages. I suppose they're against sexual assault. Trump is a self-confessed sexual predator. He boasted about it. Talked about how you can grab women's genitals. You can do anything you want to them. Self-confessed, and the evangelicals support him. He ridiculed a man who was physically disabled and what used to be called deformed. Then after he did it and demonstrated it, he lied and said he hadn't done it. This man is an inveterate, pathological liar. He is a demented, deranged denier, denying his lies. He is a consummate falsifier. The Lincoln Journal-Star is one of those papers which periodically will point out the statements that Trump made which are untrue. Some weeks ago, the Washington Post documented over 100 specific lies that this man had told. Then when people come to him, children who survived a killing at the hands of a person with one of the kinds of weapons that Pete Ricketts wants the NRA to come to Nebraska and promote. The parents who lost these children. And what is Trump's response? Build more mental institutions and arm teachers. What could be more insane than that? If you have an epidemic of malaria spread by mosquitoes, is the cure for malaria the introduction of more malaria-bearing mosquitoes? That is insane. But Trump is in the employ of the NRA. He will say nothing that they disapprove of. After he had said the first day that he spoke that teachers should be armed, there was such a negative blowback, he denied having said it. Denied having said what he tweeted and what he bragged about. Then when the blowback came, he said, well, I didn't mean armed teachers, I meant armed adept teachers. Those who are capable of handling firearms, and my denial was based on people misunderstanding what my words clearly said. What kind of craziness is that? What kind of example is it for the young people and the children in schools? Lying is the way to go. Sexually grabbing girls is the thing to do. The president is the example, and we lead by example. Our children are entitled to see us as the ones who are morally straight, intellectually alert, and willing to follow the principles that we say we live by. So let us assume that Mr. Trump is such an individual. What are the principles he lives by? Grabbing a woman's privates, lying, degrading, and ridiculing people who have a physical impairment, arming teachers. And your governor is inviting the NRA to come here. He ought to talk to the directors